The fire came out of an image that just struck me as funny, which is George pushing past children and old ladies to get out of a fire. Like that was actually the only thing I had to start with, and I kind of built around that image. That image, when I thought of it, just really made me laugh. Like, to me, that was like George stripped down to his essentials, that he would push past women and children to get out of a fire.
What's that smell? Smoke? Smoke? Everybody, I think I smell some smoke back here.
To me, Seinfeld, a lot of what made Seinfeld great and it was taking something that if you moved to 10 degrees this way, it would be sad and tragic. But by moving it 10 degrees this way, it became funny somehow. The other part of it that's kind of interesting, actually, in the fire was the story of Toby, who was Elaine's rival at the publishing house. And that actually came out of a very weird tragedy. There was a woman working at the show next door to us at Radford who had a horrible tragedy and lost a baby, if you could believe this. Now, that wasn't funny at all, obviously. It was one of the most tragic events I had ever witnessed, actually. But what was odd about it was that the women who worked with her became jealous of the attention that she got from her boss because of her tragedy. And that, to me, struck me as a dark side of human nature that was very applicable to a Seinfeld episode. And so we had this character, Toby, who was a kind of a co-worker of Elaine's, who loses a toe, so we kept it very trivial tragedy. And she winds up getting a lot of attention and getting this promotion, which drives Elaine insane. And Kramer, if you remember, saves the toe.
She got so upset, she ran out of the building, and a street sweeper ran over her foot and severed her pinky toe.
That's unbelievable!
Yeah, then after the ambulance left, I found the toe. So I put it in a Cracker Jack box, filled it with ice, and took off for the hospital.
What? You ran?
No, I jumped on the bus. I told the driver, I got a toe here, buddy, step on it.
In the episode The Fire, we were scheduled to actualize that scene. We were going to get a bus and show how we were rushing to the hospital. And instead I delivered it as a monologue, and it worked out very well with the audience. We got all the laughs needed, so we didn't need to use the bus scene.
Then everybody is screaming because the driver, he's passed out because of all the commotion. The bus is out of control. So I grab him by the collar, I take him out of the seat, I get behind the wheel, now I'm driving the bus.
You're Batman.
Yeah, I am Batman. Then the mugger, he comes to and he starts choking me. So I'm fighting him off with one hand and I kept driving the bus with the other, you know. Then I managed to open up the door and I kicked him out the door, you know, with my foot, you know, at the next stop.
You kept making all the stops?
Well, people kept ringing the bell.